Hello, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, and I work with the partners, the exes, and the adult children, and the coworkers and family members too, of these relentlessly difficult, toxic people I call hijackals. And one of the things that they love to do is to try to define your reality for you. They try to tell you what you think, what you feel, what you should think and feel, what you need, what you want, and they don't want to listen to you at all. And when they are defining this reality, this is what we call gaslighting. They tell you how you think it is. They tell you how you feel. And then you are left thinking, no, I don't do that. That's not actually true. But if you've been with one for a while, the actual fact is that they make you second guess yourself. You start thinking they may be right and you may be wrong. Has that happened to you? I had a hijackal mother. And so she would do things like that. She would say things as though she knew they were true. And often what I learned as I grew older was she was guessing, but she hoped that she could make me second guess myself. Well, she couldn't. And it was always a fight, always a fight. But for some people, it isn't a fight because you're so worn down and torn down and put down by being with a toxic person, maybe a narcissistic person, a covert or an overt narcissist. And I've done videos about those things. So just go to my YouTube channel and look all around for that. But whomever you're with, whatever kind of hijackal you're with, they often want to tell you what you think, what you feel. They don't ask, they simply tell because they need to have power and control over you. So what do you do? Well, if you're new to all of this, then I hope that you will stand up quite neutrally, not in their face, not putting them down, not being who they are, but that you will simply say, no, that's not what I think. If you'd like to know what I think, please ask. I'm happy to tell you. No, that's not the way I remember it. I remember it this way. But if you've been with one for quite a while and it's become a habit and you're wanting to break that habit, what's truly important to do is to very neutrally just begin saying out loud the things that I just said, but saying them in a way that is just affirming to yourself that, no, the way I remember it is this, and that you start to have confidence in the way that you remember it, not looking for someone else to define your reality. Because when you just make that beginning, you're not going against them. You are simply stating in a neutral, non-emotional way, no, that's not the way I remember it. Now, they may want to fight with you. That's okay. You can expect that. But you need to begin affirming that, affirming yourself, affirming your right to your view of the world, to your memories, to your sense of what you thought or what you felt at the moment. Don't let someone else tell you what you felt. You don't feel good about that, do you, when it happens? And yet, if you've been worn down by a hijackal, you may start thinking, oh, well, they may be right. Maybe they know me better than I know myself. And you know what? Any hijackal will tell you that they know you better than you know yourself. And don't believe that. I know it's hard because you're tired and there's so much going on. And it's just somehow seems easier to go along with them. But it isn't in the long run. In the long run, you will be a puddle and you won't know which way is up. And you may be headed in that direction right now or have moments when you feel that way. But I want to encourage you to stand up again and simply affirm what you know to be true about yourself. So when someone gaslights you, when they try to tell you who you are or what you think or what you value or what you remember or what you feel, stand up and affirm, actually, no, this is what it is. And if you do it without argument, you do it as a fact, you do it as a sharing of something from within yourself, and you don't mention the other person at all, And, I talk about that very, very powerful technique that I created. It's in my book, Kaizen for Couples, and it's called the Personal Weather Report. And if you use the Personal Weather Report, which you'll find in chapters 5 and 6, you will slowly develop your strength back. So you use the Personal Weather Report. And in the face of gaslighting, what that looks and sounds like is simply benign, neutral, saying, actually, no, the way I remember it is this. Or actually, no, the way I feel is this. Or if you don't feel like you are safe to share how you really think or feel, then simply say, no, that's not accurate. If you'd like to know what I really think or feel, I'm open to having you ask me that question. So you put the onus back on the other person to ask you, to inquire. You'll often find that they're not interested. They want to make up everything. They want to be in power. They want to have control. They want to simply tell you because that's what's convenient for them. They want to define the reality. They want to define the relationship, and they want to define you. Yeah, I know how difficult it is. I was married to a hijackal. And of course I was married to a hijackal. If you have a hijackal parent, all that growing up and brain development and stages of development and all of that, you're not stopping to think, what did my parents teach me about people and relationships? So in your youth, you're going to get into a relationship in most cases that is much like what you didn't like about the relationship with a hijackal parent. And I did that too. And when I wouldn't agree with him, he would get furious. He would rage. I remember one night that he was so annoyed that he took the wine glass he had in his hand and smashed it into the fireplace because I didn't agree with him telling me what I should think and feel. Does that sound at all familiar? It's very familiar in relationships with hijackals. And a good start to beginning to take back your life is to simply, and I said this several times now, neutrally, without any emotion, you simply state the facts as you see it. No, that's not accurate. That's not what I think. No, the way I remember it is different than that, and I am believing what I remember. It's so important not to let someone gaslight you. And it's important for you to affirm to yourself what your truth is rather than to accept anything about what the other person is endeavoring to tell you your truth is or your truth should be. If you want to learn more about this, I have a free ebook called How to Spot a Hijackal. You can get it at hijackals.com. You spell that hijack, ALS.com. And if you'd like to maybe talk more about this, I have a safe membership site at optimizecircles.com. So much for you. And I invite you always to be here on my YouTube channel for relationship help. So much to choose from. And I look forward to talking with you again soon. And in the meantime, just simply affirm what you remember and what you believe and what you think and what you feel. It's good for you. The hijackal may not like it, but you'll like yourself better. Take good